Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the den. I apologize for the tardiness. I got into a vicious brawl with Scotty. Lots of blood, fur everywhere. Only one of us could survive. Still strong, still standing. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. God damn it. All right. So, tonight, well, first, welcome to the den. If you're not familiar with the den is the best conversation on the internet, the entire internet. You can search high and low. You'll never find a better show because you're here. You are what makes this conversation. The wonderful people of the den folk. I got shit all back, got screens backwards and turned around and shit. So I'm glad that, you made it if you are here, and wherever you may be in the world, I hope everything is going swell with you. Okay. So I caught my first Facebook case. It was a Facebook misdemeanor. I don't think they got me fully Facebook locked up, but for some dumb shit from like 2 years ago, something from like 2019. So I guess they got to do what they got to do to try to figure it out, right? Some like stupid ass post I made, or not even a post I made. It was actually a picture. We were talking about it was some conversation I'm sure we had the night before, and we were talking about how the pussy market is depleted, and pussy's going for $40 and all that other stuff. And it was a picture of some chick who had basically put her prices up, and it was funny, right? Well, I guess they said I was encouraging or soliciting or some shit. So I guess I was digital pimping. But anyway, so whatever. Who cares, right? It's Facebook. So aside from that, let's see who we have joining us. Let's talk about it. Let's get into some good conversation. I think that this will be interesting because I want to look at this case because, it's just weird what people will go for, like this whole thing. And, this is the power of the media. I think this is a media whole just propaganda piece of shit. But we'll talk about it, right? And we'll talk about everything, or most everything, all the information that I could obtain and share with you. But like I said, let's see what we got with us, and then let's get into it. John, my favorite New Yorker, Miss Bell Northern style because she doesn't drink sweet tea. D. Kenobi, what's the motherfucking deal? Louis 17, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi's here. Ken, what's up, Ken, young man? And Bo, what do you? I'm sorry, I said Bo. I'm looking at now. I took like the first two letters in the first. I'm on some dyslexia shit or something. Ben, that's what I meant. Players fuck up. I've been in the den fucking up a lot, so it is what it is. But so like I said, I want to talk about the victims. I love to victim blame. That's what I do. That's what I get accused of doing. So I want to look at the victims involved in this, right? Because I find it very peculiar. What people will come to defend, you know what I'm saying? Because the TV will only, I'm gonna let you make it. I'm gonna let you make it right now. I have something waiting for you. I'm just waiting on the right opportunity. Actually, I might not say I was doing a bunch of shit, but anyway, Lockbert. Yes. Yeah, he said something very, very interesting. I'm sure it here in a minute what he said. But like I said, so this whole case, right? And again, when you start talking about race and you start talking about sex, and I'm not talking about like the good sex, I'm talking about like sex, gender, whatever, people, it's different stuff. It's different. It's not the same thing. You know what the fuck it is. You know exactly what I mean. I'm a firm believer in the two and the occasional hermaphrodite. There's always an occasional hermaphrodite out there, so you got to be careful. I don't know how that rolls, but hey, we got to be woke and show them love. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. But I want to look at the people involved. And I mean, can you really call them victims? But what'll happen is if you listen to the media, and we know that it's no longer objective, we know there's no straight down the middle, there's no fair and balanced. It's everybody has a plan, everybody has an agenda. But if you listen to the media, they will have you rooting for the very thing that they say they're against, right? They will have you rooting for the very type of people that they say, you know, we need to get rid of and that are causing problems in this society. And they'll do all of that as long as the opponent is a white man, right? This is where we've gotten, like, we've lost all sense. And this is a young dude, right? 17. People saying, well, what was he doing there? What were those other guys out there doing there, right? So everybody has a fair role. But let's look at those. And I had some I want to share. I didn't get, like I said, I was kind of scrambling at the last minute. But it's very funny how the media has started using the term with this, what is his name, Gage? I don't even know what his last name is. I don't really care. It's a very strange last name. I'm not sure what kind of background that is. But Gage, the lone survivor. That's the term that they've been using across all media. Like, if you don't think that this shit is organized at this point, where you have different media outlets using this same buzzwords, these same phrases, this same terminology, right? Either somebody's writing for everybody, somebody's plagiarizing, they're less than creative. I don't know what it is, but that's what I've been seeing, the lone survivor, or some reference to the last man standing after Kyle went on his shooting spree, right? Like, if you listen to certain people, they'll tell you fucking Kyle hopped out of a fucking Humvee or something with a fucking belts fucking strapped across his shit and just start going Rambo, motherfucker. That's what they'll tell you. If you'll listen to it, they'll sell you that shit, right? They will definitely. Well, then I should double down, Heidi. I'm drinking some passion tea tonight, right? Yes, I'm gonna get freaky with my sleep. But again, I agree. Gage is gross. That's what I think. But let's talk about it. Like I said, so I got a couple of sites, and again, I'm gonna show you the video. I think the video is on one of the sites. I might not have downloaded. You know, I usually try to download the stuff so I can show it to you directly. Some of these sites had some sketchy ads on them, but we'll see what happens, right? It's just time to take a risk. Let's just go all in. What's going on? That's not what I want. What I want is, see, it's not going to show up because I don't have it all the way pulled up. All right, there we go. And hold on, let me make sure one thing real quick. Yeah, okay, it's there. Make sure I know the questionable shit is going on. Make sure I close out my hub. No, there's no hub. I'm not sharing the hub with you guys tonight. All right, cool. This is the one I want. I gotta close that and bring it back up. But so let's talk about it. Let's get to know our cast of characters tonight, right? And let's do it like so. All right. And let's do the chat here. And let's go. And it's actually not the page I want to start on, right? I want to show to you guys this one because we're going to come back to him. He's the lone survivor. Let's go to. I believe this is Joseph Rosenbaum, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe this is Joseph Rosenbaum. Apparently, he was one of the gentlemen who was shot and killed by Kyle. Now, many reports that this guy was out there tripping and saying all kind of crazy stuff, right? Now, in any other situation, you tell black folks, and it's not just black folks, you know, you tell super woke people of any kind of regard, he used a racial slur, right? They would tell you this is a racist white man, you know, he's bald, so, you know, niggas automatically gonna say skinhead. This guy actually said nigga the night that all this shit took place. He tell him, shoot me, nigga. Any other time, black folks would lose their shit, want to throw him under the bus, right? Like, get rid of him, take him out. But for some reason, because this fits whatever narrative, or they won't say that, or, niggas are not going to do the research on their own, certain groups are not going to, share that information. But let's get into it. So this guy was not only a lunatic, he was a molester, right? Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, was the first one killed. Video allegedly shows him chasing teen shooter and throwing something at him. I'm not going to show any of the shooting videos. I mean, at this point, if y'all ain't seen that by now, well, that's on y'all. But let's take a look at the pictures, right? So, 5'3", he's already got Napoleon syndrome. Short little guy, white male, 36, all of these other things in any other situation is just a no-go for the woke brigade, right? And he's over there with this group of gangsters and individuals walking around talking about shoot me, nigga, shoot me, nigga. Give y'all a little view, make sure y'all can see this.
Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga. Bust on me, nigga, for real.
I believe he asked for it, right? You could say that he may have asked for, that outcome, unfortunately. So again, like I said, this guy has had several cases. I want to see where I might actually have more information on this one. I'm trying to make sure. It's actually on this one. But I want to show y'all that video. Now they call him Kenosha terrorist and mass shooter. Was born after the creation of DHS. He's a product of the country's xenophobic, chauvinistic culture that places more value on property than human life. Bigoted violence begets violent bigots. Interesting, right? Considering he killed his attacker, a known pedo, Joseph Rosenbaum, I don't want them to denounce someone who killed a pedo in self-defense. He's a hero. So various opinions, right? Other people saying self-defense is a murder. Joseph Rosenbaum was a convicted sex offender who literally that night was saying, shoot me, nigga. He then attempted to attack 17-year-old Kyle. He was shot in self-defense, but keep protecting the pedo, which, this guy is now unable to give testimony because he's where he belongs. That was actually here too. So here's a couple of pieces of information, right? This is this guy. Had an open case for misdemeanor bail jumping. But somehow he was able to protest the rights of, who was it? Jacob Blake, who was also, birds of a feather flock together, right? Because didn't Jacob Blake have a situation with a minor and he was in a place where he shouldn't have been? Very interesting, right? Very interesting situation where maybe he was buddies with Blake, who knows, right? Conditions of bond, not to possess or consume alcohol, not to possess or consume controlled substance without a prescription, not to contact, no contact, including the residents, electronic or third party, with Carrie Ann S. Who knows if that is an underage person or a woman or whatever, but obviously he's had several run-ins with the law. Okay, this is not, it wouldn't be anything new to him. 11 counts of child molestation and inappropriate sexual activity with children, including anal rape. It's the rape jokes are never funny when it's the other way around, but I guess it's okay when you're doing it to little boys, right? They don't care. They don't think these people out here mad and upset because this man's gone. Wouldn't have cared anything about this. The victims were 5 boys ranging in age from 9 to 11 years old, right? He was convicted of 2 amended counts as part of a plea. There should be no plea deal for child molesters, right? And what was the new tab? We'll come back to that. Joseph Jojo was the father of a 2-year-old. Who fucking had sex with this dude? Who? Again, you women, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. Guys, if you're out here, you can Jojo. Women are letting Jojos. I guess he might be the white version of a Pookie or a Ray Ray. Women are letting Jojos ejaculate in it, like, and bear children. Like, this is disgusting. So, one less chomo, right? What feathers? What are you talking about? You're a terrible person. Broderick's here. He's also a terrible person. Yeah, JoJo the Jones no more dropping album, Dad. Appreciate the super chat love. And again, right? See, so they say no, Joe Rosenbaum is found in the Wisconsin sex offender registry right now. May have been removed because he's deceased. Well, he's no longer a sex offender if he's no longer alive, right? Screenshot the city database show that he was on that registry for sexual contact with a minor case out of Arizona. So he's nationwide. He's nationwide with this disgust. They said yes, and now he's deceased. They got rid of him. Should have kept him on there for record. Conviction date was 2002. His nickname is JoJo. So again, 36. That means he was doing that, what, around 18? He was about 17, 18 years old. So when he was about 17 or 18 years old, same age as Kyle right now, he was making decisions to violate small children. Kyle was just, I guess, another small child in his eyes. And Kyle fought back, right? I have no issue with this. So if y'all can't tell now what side I'm leaning on, well, it should have been obvious before you even clicked on the video. But anyway, contacted the Arizona Department of Correction. They confirmed that the middle name, date, birth, was the same with the Kenosha address in Wisconsin. And, you know what I'm saying? Facebook page of Joseph Rosenbaum indicates that he's engaged to Carrie Ann. So this was some woman. I'm wondering maybe this is the woman he had a child with, if he was engaged to Carrie Ann. And now he's not supposed to be around her. Was he doing beating on her? Domestic violence, probably. So, that man can't get it. Yeah, that's terrible, right? Terrible stuff. So a lot of this stuff is a little bit smaller. It says Wisconsin, Arizona initial offense dates are the same. Arizona inmate page through the Department of Corrections that shows multiple violations for things like assaulting staff, throwing substances, assault by weapon, disobeying orders, and so on. So this guy has been a problem for a long time. And again, these people don't get caught their first time. Criminals aren't getting caught the first time they do something. They've been doing this thing for a while. Giving and receiving a tattoo, terrible. Not an authorized area. Terrible, right? Terrible. That's a fuck up. Anyway, so y'all are mad because what is this guy protesting? Like, why is he there? What is he protesting? He's not there to do anything beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this is a woman he met while he was homeless, and he beat her and went to the mental hospital for like a week. Should have went to jail, right? Should have stayed in jail. Certain people, I'm gonna tell y'all, right? Y'all know I took a little vacation a little while back. This is a saying I say even before my little vacation. There are people that you don't see in everyday society, right? They're in jail. Some are in prison. The reason why you don't see them is because they are where they need to be, in jail. It's just some motherfuckers who can't get right, and they will stay there. That's just where they belong. That's just what it's gonna. He's from Waco, Texas. That's terrible. That makes sense. Waco's a crazy place. So sister wife, oh, terrible. So again, right? This is the guy that we're going to bed. Honestly, with all the bullshit, this motherfucker, this shouldn't even been something you brought up, right? Because if this guy was alive, say he would have survived or whatever, this guy would not be a credible witness in any case. A prosecution would look at this guy's rap sheet and say, you know what? Can't do it, can't deal with him. But for some reason, we're going to bat for him because whatever. Fine, right? Said he had bipolar disorder. Said he was released from a hospital where he went for a suicide attempt the day of the shootings, right? So, honestly, all of these things, the complaint says Rosenbaum did initially try to engage the defendant. And Richie McGinnis, apparently he is a writer, I think they said, for the Daily Caller, right? Okay. So, I said when Rosenbaum advanced, the defendant did a juke move, started running. According to the complaint, McGinnis said that the unarmed guy, I'm going to learn to talk tonight, was trying to get the defendant's gun. McGinnis demonstrated by extending both of his hands in a quick grabbing motion how Rosenbaum tried to reach for it. Like, if you're reaching for somebody's gun or somebody's trying to reach for your gun and they don't have one, what do you think they're trying to do? What would you assume that they were trying to do? Right? Hey, you just give me that. You don't need it. I'm going to keep it safe. Is that what you think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. Right? We're going to come back to Paul because Paul is alive, right? And so we're going to talk about Paul. We're going to give Paul his own little time to speak on it. This is Anthony M. Huber, right? You know, generally people who lean a certain direction are all for women's rights. You know, they're all for protecting, believe all women, things like that, right? Well, Huber had a disorderly conduct conviction from 2018. Disorderly conduct, man, you can get that from farting too loud in public. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like a disorderly conduct, depending on who, what, where, you know, an officer can hit you with a charge. So, whatever. I'm not even going to shit on that. But a domestic abuse repeater, which is only a misdemeanor. So I guess you can, in Washington, I mean, Wisconsin, you can beat your bitch. Like, is that what they're saying? You can beat your bitch in Wisconsin? Okay. Interesting. Of course, male feminists they try to use the finesse to undress, right? Because they're lame, they have no game, and they're not appealing to women in a natural way. So they got I got your back, girl. They use the subtle deceit of trying to attempt to make you feel comfortable around them or that they are looking out for you. But I don't think women ever really feel comfortable around weirdos like this. I mean, look at him. He looks suspect. Anyway, but this, battery, misdemeanor, dismissed on a prosecutor's motion. Repeater, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, guilty to plea, domestic abuse, repeater, forfeiture case for possessing drug paraphernalia. I'm not even shitting on that. Recklessly endangering safety, charge dismissed. That's a felony charge. Strangulation and suffocation, domestic abuse, use of a dangerous weapon, false imprisonment. He held a bitch hostage, right? And so he took a plea deal. You know, he had to have taken a plea deal with all this shit and a lot of these things being quote unquote dismissed. So again, you think this is a good guy? This is just some guy who I'm just out here saving the people. I'm doing this because Jacob Blake was such a good guy and he deserves justice. No, these people were out here looking for a reason to stir up havoc. Some people don't want to believe it. Some people just say, no, they're the people. The media will tell you that these mostly peaceful people were here for good reasons, right? But I think any of us with common sense, any of us who exist in reality, not in the metaverse, will tell you or will recognize that this is a bunch of bullshit, right? I mean, look at him. This is not a normal looking guy. He looks like a fucking excommunicated Amish guy or something. I don't know. Anywho, like I said, rap sheet shows, you know, where he's been. This is incarceration history, all that stuff, right? Says the media has largely sanitized the criminal history of the men. Yeah, exactly. Because they don't want to talk about it. Those guys, like I said, out on bond, strangling bitches, motherfuckers fucking, they have anger towards women. I guess they must not be getting any. But let's talk about Gage, right? Let's talk about Gage. I don't think Gage's stuff is as bad as these other two gentlemen, right? And again, I always say, hey, you know what? I'll take somebody at their word. If you're a reformed individual, you're working on being better, your actions speak louder than your words. If you're showing something like that, I could believe it, right? Gage, the guy with the gun, Paul Brussels, I don't know, right? It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter at all. Let me pull this up. Let me find the right thing. I got a few different dilly-dallies. Yes, this is the one. This is that guy. This is the guy whose arm no longer exists, right? So he was on the stand as a witness for the prosecution, right? And the defense cross-examined Mr. Gross. We're going to call him G. Gross, Mr. Gross, right? And I'll just let you watch for yourself.
With your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
One more time. One more time for the people in the back. I think we need to hear that again. Here's this young child. He's afraid. Again, listen to what he listen to this again. I'll play it one more time. Right? I'll give him credit for being honest, right? And I commend him on truly being honest. I think video shows that they had video evidence up, while this was going on. So he said on the video. So, I mean, you can't lie when it's right there in your face.
With your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
That's when the moment he knew he fucked up. Look at this young man, this young upstanding citizen. Just young, he knows what just happened, right?
You had
Let me see. Can we see that again? Can we see that again? Yes. Yes, Pinky. The stand will change a man. Oh, man. You know what? Gosh darn it. Let me see. I don't even think I had it. I had it. Nope. Gosh darn it. Anywho, shout out to Dan the Man. Appreciate the love. You're claiming him, Heidi? You're claiming him as one of your kin? But again, so you look at the character of all three of these individuals, right? Guy has a gun. Let's kind of look at what he's got going on, too. We don't want to leave him out. There's a forfeiture case for not showing obedience to officers, as well as one for loud noises. You don't deserve to be shot for that. You've been convicted of a criminal misdemeanor for going armed with a firearm while intoxicated. That can be dangerous, right? Guns and alcohol don't mix. He's not a felon, doesn't have any felony convictions. Good grief. Can't talk tonight. In the Wisconsin court system, convictions, Wisconsin, it's a lot of vials and shit going on here. Said an old archived web page alleged he was arrested on burglary charges, but nothing comes up on the court website. He confirmed in court that he has one criminal conviction, but it is for going with the firearm. I believe the night that he had the firearm, he was carrying it in his the back of his waistband. His concealed license had expired, right? And a very interesting thing, right? Okay, they talk about him being accused of prowling and lurking in the area where the police keep their private vehicles, videotaping him, and so whatever. But I don't care about that, right? I don't care about that. That's my boy JoJo. We've all seen the shoot me, nigga. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for something specific. Here we go. Gauge. I give y'all the woke sites. I give y'all the more conservative sites. Hey, you gotta look at everything. You gotta give everybody a shot, right? He admitted to pointing a gun at Rittenhouse when Rittenhouse shot him, right? Of course, and you see right there, blew his fucking arm up. He's got the earrings. I don't know if I trust him, right? Kyle is on the ground, right? And this is what kills me is people just like, he was just out there going crazy, just laying people out. Yeah, Fatty, you can pretend. I know that's what you want to hear. I know. But again, like I said, no major crime, but then there's something. I want to make sure it was on this one. Yes, I used DuckDuckGo. Yes. Where's it at? He had a bullet in the chamber. He's affiliated with some protest group called the People's Revolution, so we already know what that means, right? Might as well be Antifa light. But the people will tell you Antifa doesn't exist. Lost 90% of his right bicep, suing Kenosha, right? And just like John said, you're out of there. Let's see. Say describe it all as a lost person. I'm looking for the one. But anyway, basically, he has a charge. I don't know if it was dismissed, but basically caught a drunk driving charge earlier this year, right? And I'm going to show y'all this. Remind me to come back to this sometime. This is my whole point about people being super woke and just letting their feelings get into things. Like, there are some outcomes in society that I may not like, but you cannot let your feeling get in the way of things if you want, justice, right? Because then if we're just going to let feelings run everything, then, nobody wins. Because there's always going to be somebody who feels a particular kind of way about something. And then they were talking about, completely off topic, I saw a thing that there's a young lady who's basically on a ventilator, barely making it from the Travis Scott situation. So there may be some more numbers coming up in that. And again, that's a very, very unfortunate thing. I think there's a lot more going on with that than we spoke on. But yeah, let's defend the child molester and not the child, right? I don't know where it was where I saw it, but again, like I said, there was another thing saying that Mr. Gage Gross, and I'm deliberately going to fuck it up just to mess with Heidi. Again, that he would have had a drunk driving charge. So it is what it is. Rittenhouse, former police youth cadet from Antioch, Illinois, had gone to Kenosha with an AR-style semi-automatic rifle and a medical kit. So Gage was saying he was a medic. Kyle was out here being a medic, right? So, again, have I played any Uncharted game? I played the first two. I don't think I played the third one. I heard like the fourth one had like chicks in it. Some people saying it wasn't that good, but the first two were good. They were definitely good. So yes, it's all with it. But again, I don't think there's an issue with anything that he did, right? So, and looking at Kyle, we all know what happened with him. We all know what's going on. But I really do truly believe that in this situation, that the Rosenbaum situation, he should be, vindicated in that. This guy, his situation, he should be vindicated in that. Now, who's the other guy? The Anthony, whatever. I forgot how his situation took place, right? But again, for those of you who didn't see it. See, this is crazy, right? Because they watched this one. They didn't show this part. They didn't show like the other part. They didn't show the shoot me nigga, right? But they they cut that part short, right? Anyway, another view of Kenosha militia shooting. Like I said, people are going to paint it whichever way they would like to. So yeah, again, this part, Chicago Sun-Times, right? This is a commentary. Why is this person even allowed to have an opinion? We'll see. Don't be surprised if jury accepts Kenosha shooter's Kyle Rittenhouse self-defense claim when the guy basically just told him it was self-defense. I mean, what are you supposed to wait until you're shot to shoot back? Is that how it works, right? Because if that's the case, then maybe the other guy should have waited, right? These people don't think. Again, they want to holler about white supremacy and all this other crazy shit. It's not his fault that he was better prepared, right? Anyway, ever since the night of August 25th, when 2 people were shot dead in the streets of Kenosha and a 3rd person seriously wounded, the question hasn't been who did it, but whether Antioch teenager Kyle Rittenhouse would get away with it. What did he get away with? His life? His life, which he was trying to save because motherfuckers were attacking him? I've always believed it would be difficult to find 12 jurors who would agree to convict Rittenhouse on the most serious homicide charges against him, if only because the case is an intersection of so many issues on which our society is hopelessly divided. And this is where motherfuckers get stupid. Everybody was white. Right? Oh, he's the one that hit him with the skateboard? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, then definitely. If you hit me with a skateboard, you deserve to get shot. Again, am I mistaken? Am I wrong? Can you guys let me know where maybe I missed something? But all the guys involved in this situation were white, right? The only black person involved in this situation was Jacob Blake, who allegedly everybody was rioting for, who was also a pedo. But let's not talk about that. Let's make him a hero. Let's make all this, again, like I said, certain sides, certain groups in this country will have you rooting for the worst people. They'll have you rooting for the drug addicts. You know, he was just a drug addict about to turn his life around as soon as the fentanyl wore off and he could have cashed that bogus 20. He was going to get his life right after that. You know, and again, all of these things are sad. All of these things are terrible. Like I say, I don't take life lightly. But at the same time, you know, I just don't buy into the bullshit and emotion and the shit that people bake into these stories. But let me carry on, right? But he said, on which our society is hoping to race, violence, law enforcement, guns, and politics. Was there a cop involved in this trial? No, and that's what I'm saying. And exactly. Were there, so let's see, he said race, right? All of them were white. Violence. Let's see, an attack with a skateboard, a guy grabbing for somebody else's gun, who is a notable history of violence, well documented, and also is a child molester. A guy who beats his wife or beats his girlfriend, domestic violence, whatever, has charges for strangulation. Again, documented violence. And then the other guy who has a gun with a bullet in the chamber, who has pulled his gun out on the guy protecting himself from the other guy. So the violence is started by who? The ones that the media portrays as the victims. So that's race, that's violent. Law enforcement, didn't see any cops there. As soon as it was over, I do remember Kyle going towards law enforcement, telling them that he did shoot somebody. Guns and politics. No, there were lots of guns there. Multiple people involved had guns, right? A guy was reaching for a gun. Hey, don't bring a fist to a gunfight. Guy with a skateboard, don't bring a skateboard to a gunfight. And another guy with a gun, well, you got to be a little quicker on the draw. He ain't no Cherokee Bill. And politics. What politics play into any of this, right? These were people on good. They were good people on both sides. In other words, there was good people on one side and some pedos and career criminals on the other. So again, you know, he was out there trying to help people, trying to protect some stuff of people that he knew. The other guys were out there to help burn and tear down and hang out and fuck shit up. So this guy's argument, again, is purely emotional. I'm curious. I'm going to look and see what this guy looks like. Because, again, like I said, you'll have these people in here in this country, and I don't know what happened to America, right? And it's been getting undermined for a long time. I mean, this is nothing new, but I think the internet has increased the rhetoric exponentially. Social media has increased it exponentially because now it's easier to get that message into the face of people who are more likely to believe it, right? Because it was always the more intellectual, woke type folks who were saying this shit, but they weren't really suffering. They were talking about the problems of the quote unquote poor and downtrodden and oppressed. And the poor, the downtrodden and oppressed don't read. They just watch MTV and shit like that. So they weren't really talking about it, right? But then when social media came, they were able to start trickling into the view of these people. And then those poor, downtrodden, oppressed people all of a sudden became woke They thought they were intelligent because they just started repeating the same shit that, you know, the left-leaning, super intellectual, pseudo-intellectuals, whatever you want to call them, the masters of wordplay. They created this false intelligence, if you want to call it intelligence, air quotes on the intelligence. And now you got people believing this shit, and these people are spewing all this just nonsense, making them feel like I'm saying something. I'm using words, so I must be saying something. And so now people believe this bullshit. So now you're starting to see it run rampant. Now you're seeing all these dumbasses say a bunch of dumbass shit, and it never adds up, right? It never adds up. Race, violence, law enforcement, guns, and politics. None of that. Only thing that happened here was guns, right? And everybody had them. So on top of that, the evidence presented so far has mostly supported Rittenhouse claims of self-defense. So what? What? So the evidence fits what he was talking about? Okay. If jurors get past the absurdity of him being there armed in the first place, why is that absurd? What is absurd about it? You had other individuals out there armed. You had people who were on the run from the law, out there armed, attacking people. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't absurd at all. Okay. I have no gun, but I'm going to attack a guy with his gun. That's not absurd, right? The irony is that a key element of self-defense is the reasonableness of a person's actions under the circumstances. There was absolutely nothing reasonable about anything that happened in Kenosha that night, from a 17-year-old high school dropout playing self-deputized peacekeeper with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, right? Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Dan the Man. Said there was another gentleman last summer who was defending a friend's property. He was shot and his last moments were live streamed. RIP David Dorn. That's what I'm saying. There's so much crazy shit that happened last summer, dog. For black advancement, BLM. Nobody stole me a used television from a pawn shop, right? You know, I didn't get the black advancement check. Oh, but Colors and Crew, they definitely did, right? They bought $1 million homes, mansions away from niggas. You know, why don't they go buy homes near the project so they can be there, you know, ground zero? They can help the people who need them most. But again, it is what it is, right? Again, and I can see that point, right? I can see that point. We shouldn't have been, but he was, okay? And so my thing is, if he did not initiate a situation, right, I feel like be careful what I'm going to say here because people are going to take it out of context. If you can handle a weapon, you should be allowed to have that weapon, right? I know some places are going to be no, absolutely not. I remember there was a video that was around a few years ago, right? Because here's my thing. A few years ago, there was a little girl, and she was going through, I don't know if it was a competitive shooting thing or whatever, but that little broad was cold-blooded, like some real-life Call of Duty shit, right? And so I would not be opposed to a well-trained child having the means to protect himself. What is guns are the great equalizer, right? It gives the smaller, frailer man the ability to defend himself against the larger man, right? It gives the larger man the same ability to defend himself against maybe a more physically skilled individual, whatever it is, the great equalizer, right? I think the two great equalizers are makeup and firearms. Hear me out, right? But imagine some of these situations if we said, okay, hey, you know, because back in the day, kids were shooting guns a long time ago. I know you say it's a different day and age, but shit, kids were out there fucking hunting, right? So obviously it's not the gun, it's the training, right? Imagine that. Imagine if you allowed children who knew what they were doing, properly trained, understanding the danger of what they're doing, instead of them just stumbling upon stuff. Oh, pow, pow, look at me. I'm going to put the gun in my kid's backpack and shoot his fucking mom on a live stream. Anyway, you think that would stop? Or you think that would make people maybe a little bit more hesitant? Some of these people who are out snatching kids in the street, right? I don't know. Maybe kids don't make the right decisions. Maybe hormones play a role. I don't know. You figure it out yourself. I'm just saying what I think. So here's my deal. But again, I'm just going by what they say. This is what this person is saying, right? So again, to all the adults who enabled him, law enforcement personnel who failed to send them all home, to the rioters who set fire and brought their own guns to the shooting of a black man by a white police officer. So you're saying that the people who were causing the violence, it's not like he went out there and just started aiming guns at people, right? So anyway, I don't think that there's nothing wrong with it, right? Again, I don't know necessarily the laws of Wisconsin. I know they got a lot of cheese. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about actual cheese. But it is what it is. And here's the thing, talking about Rittenhouse is such an idiot. You're talking about a child like a grown man, right? You're talking about a child like a grown man. Did he probably plan out? Did he probably realize what was going to happen? No. But there's a point in some cultures in America, some groups, some races, whatever you want to call it, treat late or later age teenagers as men, which is what it should be. And so they start to act and operate as men, right? But there can be things that take place as men that they may or may not be properly trained or ready for. Kyle stumbled into one of these situations. In some communities, they treat fucking grown-ass men like little boys. They'd be 25. Oh, he's just a kid, right? So again, you go play in the NCAA, you motherfucker playing in his 6th year for the NCAA, and he's fucking 24 years old. Oh, these kids out here having a good old time. So again, if they can be considered children, kids, why is this not this young man who can't legally do too much of anything? Why is he not also a child who just made a bad decision? But at the same time, you had a lot of grown men trying to attack a child. And I believe that may have played into it. You see a little pimply-faced kid, he looks young as shit. You know what I'm saying? His energy is young as shit. And they thought that they could, get a fast one on him. Instead, he was better prepared than the grown chomos who tried to get him. And he laid a couple of them down. Made another one think twice. Whose fault is that, right? Anyway. Until the moment he shot Joseph Wright, he probably felt like the greatest of his life, played hero, pretending he was a medic who was only there to help. The same way the other guy was, right? Okay. McGinnis tried to save Rosenbaum's life. Why? You know what I mean? Rittenhouse, it shot 2 more men who tried to stab him, who hit Rittenhouse over the head with a skateboard. And again, you hit him with a skateboard, lay him down. A fucking skateboard will kill you, right? I would say I had a concussion after I was hit with the skateboard. I don't know what happened after that. I forgot. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to read the rest of this guy's shit because it sounds really dumb. I hope the kid gets off. But so that's the main screen. Let me cut the fan on. It's a little toasty in here. But again, so I'm about to open up the line. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know how y'all feel. I want to know what you believe or what do you think is going to happen in this case if you've been following a bit more closely than I have, obviously. But it's kind of something I did want to talk about, something I did want to address because I do, I recall when everything happened and I still think Jacob Blake is a piece of shit, obviously, But again, the media don't want to talk about those things. Oh, he's paralyzed. Well, he deserves to be fucking paralyzed. I hope his fucking dick don't work so he can't out there fucking sexually assaulting or trying to molest nobody no fucking more, right? That's the problem, right? I agree, Blackfire. Absolutely. Andrea Lee, how are you doing? Lovely Miss Sarah Lou. Heidi's a terrible person. You should have to go to a gun class and I have a gun permit. I think you need your permit revoked. Shaq could be out in the neighborhood shooting people's dogs. We should ban skateboards, right? We should ban anything that could possibly cause harm to anyone, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can absolutely go to prison. You can. definitely go to prison at 17. You can fucking, but then also, just like you said, you can get a gun in the hood. You can get a gun in the hood at 6 years old. You can do a lot more than that. Cause again, y'all see all these little motherfuckers. Dog, oh my God. I saw these two little young fucking rappers, dog. These niggas look like they ain't made it out of elementary. And these niggas selling weed and doing all this shit, rapping in the video, got guns, all this shit. Like, that's why I say the rap culture, I don't care how anybody feels about it, is detrimental to niggas, right? It's detrimental because niggas consume the most entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And you got, like, there's a balance. It's entertainment or education. So if you're consuming more entertainment than education, well, we all know what happens after that, right? The only politics niggas be knowing is hood politics. You know the lifestyle and living of every drug dealer that ever came through all the outposts. But, you know, that's it. You know, can't talk about anything else besides that. Aren't even interested in anything else besides that, but then wonder why you obsess, you know, and fantasize and romanticize crime and criminals. Then wonder why, you know, you're constantly getting into shit, right? It is what it is. But yeah, it's a very sad state of affairs. Yeah, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. He admitted it. The other two guys are dead. They got their actions on video. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And Scotty will bite you. I'll put Scotty in attack mode. See, when Scotty's usually happy and, you know, his little nub is wiggling. So what I do is I take his nub and I set it like crooked to the left just a little bit. That's how he knows to go in attack mode. He's gonna run. I'm gonna turn it back to the right. That's like cutting it off. I'm gonna go tell Scotty nub attack mode. Go. He turns into a vicious killer. Any kind of stuffed animal in the way will be destroyed, right? So there's that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can do damage with anything. So we gotta get rid of cars. We gotta get rid of alcohol. We need to get rid of, like you said, pencils. I'm gonna be honest. Paper cuts are really dangerous. And those are things we need to get rid of paper, right? What else? What else is going crazy? You know, refrigerators should be banned. You know, you're trying to move those things up a set of stairs or something, they could slip and fall down on you. I mean, we got to even start thinking hypothetically what could possibly happen, you know, to prevent. We need to take preventative measures so that we can all stay safe, right? You know what I mean? So that matters. Studio Mansion, what's the motherfucking deal? He told his mom to shut up. So that's a man right there. That's fucking funny. Give me 1 second. Let me adjust the temperature in here, and then I'll cut the line on, and we will talk. We will have a conversation. Oh. Let it go. Too much. All right. Do. What's going on? All right. They're on 832-694-1337. I guess it helps if I actually cut the phone on, though, right? Like I'm telling you, call in. Why is it not ringing? Oh, because it's not on. An asshole. So there's that, right? Wow, that's what I'm talking about. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
It's Daniel, sir.
Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan, doing all that he can. What's going on, sir? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right now. I'm working on doing all I can, but learning to try to take care of myself.
Good.
It's kind of hard. I've been running ragged so long, worrying about other people. It's hard to untrain certain behaviors, but I'm working on it.
I understand it. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you are. Like I say, just put that same energy into yourself, and you know, reap your own rewards from your hard work. And you know, like I say, you deserve it more than anybody, man. So, like, but I do understand how it can be tough. I do get it. But so what's on your mind, man? With you've been following the Kyle case, or you know, you familiar with it? What are your thoughts on it?
Oh man, this is very interesting. Like Lou was saying earlier, man, dude, the prosecution, like his reaction when Gage, whatever the fuck his name is, admitted that he pulled a gun out first, named at him first, and you know, that alone was like Jesus Christ, like wow, like really nigga, you know, one of them really nigga moments. And then the other gentleman tried to hit him with a skateboard, if I'm correct, the wife beater, or girlfriend beater, the multiple domestic violence having ass dude.
Yes.
And I know flare-ups happen, but like, bro, just leave the relationship. Just stop. Just if it's that issue, just leave. Just leave. Anyway, he can't. He left now. He's a corpse. So fuck him. And I ain't gonna. Well, I mentioned the Chomo. Yeah, he did a service to us. Straight up. Salute that boy. Salute that young man.
Exactly.
You know. So I ain't got no goddamn problem with what happened. And skateboards hurt. What was that story in New York that all the black people get mad about? The black woman. When that dude got turned down by that black woman.
Yeah.
He hit her in the face with a skateboard.
Oh yeah.
The skateboards hurt then, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of skateboard attacks happening. It mostly around the Portland, Seattle, Southern California area. Like those three areas, it's full of skateboard attacks because a bunch of drugged out fucking hippie skaters. Not talking like people just skate and stuff like that. I'm talking about like bums who just harass people and skate everywhere. That kind of shit. Them motherfuckers. I seen one video. This is one of the first videos I saw on the internet that has angered me. It was some guy skating on people's cars when they were like in some sort of traffic jam just in California somewhere. It's like middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys tries to stop him. He just hits him with a skateboard, knocks him out in the middle of the street. And then he skates off. No one stops this guy. He got away with assaulting that man and insulting other people. Skateboards hurt. Yep, studio, they hurt. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man. So, I mean, you know, don't bring a skateboard to a fucking gunfight. Lesson learned. Fuck them.
I wonder where that skateboard is now. I wonder.
Man, hopefully in the Hall of Fame, man. Put that next to Babe Ruth's bat he hit them home runs with, or Hank Aaron, all type of shit. Yeah. I'm thinking AR-15. The skateboard, no, just burn that bitch. I don't know. There's probably an evidence. I don't know. And that dude who got the Chuckle and Gwynny blow out his arm, I mean, you lucky you're alive. Straight up. He's lucky he's alive. And you know what? For someone who was under attack in the middle of the night, surrounded by a bunch of people, I'm surprised there were innocent bystanders. I said this when we talked about this shit last year. Like, the fact he must have had training, Kyle, because he was very precise with his aim. He told everybody, back the fuck up. So this dude already shot somebody, and you gonna rush on with a skateboard. Did someone check his blood? Like do like a drug test on Mr. Skateboard? Because there's no way in Ebenezer fucking Scrooge, this dude done killed somebody. I'm running at him with a skateboard like I'm goddamn Superman, Super Tony Hawk or some shit. It's fucking stupid.
I'm gonna bat the bullets with my skateboard. I'm gonna knock him out of the air, and peacefully apprehend this man.
This is a fucking Marvel movie? Jesus Christ. Fuck out of here. Well, he got exactly what he was looking for. He made the news, so congratulations. Fuck him. I don't suffer fools anymore. I ain't got time for that shit. That's for the case itself. I mean, there is possibility of juror intimidation. And what was that? George Floyd's brother? I'm sorry, nephew, I think. Nephew or cousin. Someone who probably got some roll-off money from that whole situation, you know. He should be sitting there eating, just enjoying his cheese, you know. But instead he's like, we need the... Like, that's fucking juror intimidation, which I think happened on another case recently. And we'll leave that alone because that's not the subject tonight. But you already know what it is. Very possibly. Hell, one of the jurors was at BLM. He was on TV. I mean, not on TV, but he was on Facebook with his shirts. And I don't know nothing about the case. But you literally got George Floyd's shirt. Yeah, I just said the case. George Floyd's shirt. And you're a juror. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but people fail to see that it's always a situation like this. People will try to feign ignorance of it. People come into these things with agendas, and depending on how popular the case is, most people want to be a part of it, so they can hope they can get a book deal or some shit afterwards. Like I don't fucking know. But it's super crazy how these people have nothing like this going on in their life, and I'm usually the quote unquote victims. Have nothing going on in their life, and then all of a sudden something unfortunate happens, and then they just become these world-class saints, you know. Then, like you said, their family automatically, they just all of a sudden become protesters and politicians and civil rights leaders overnight. You know, I'm just like, what the fuck is really going on? Like, what is really happening with this shit?
And Niggas is trying to get famous, bro. I think that's what it is, bro.
Civil rights is the new celebrity.
Yeah, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. It's ridiculous. But there is a possibility that Kyle could lose this case. Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Even in face of all this overwhelming evidence showing that what happened. Yeah, and even with new footage that wasn't that should have been released over a year ago. That would have probably dismissed a lot of these charges he had. I think it was the FBI or the police department there. They hid it or whatever the fuck. I mean, they just waited till now to release it. Now you think he should have been in jail that long?
Yeah, $2 million bail.
Money. Exactly, Ben. What's up?
I say, didn't he have like a $2 million bail? That's crazy.
Oh yeah, but then this case has been politicized, and that's another issue, because it involves Jacob Blake, and he's had some allegations amongst himself. It's the moral compass of this country is so fucked right now.
Yes.
And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that warning shot. Yeah, I'm not sure who shot the warning shot, but I remember Heidi has mentioned something, but I remember seeing one of those newly released footage of like Rosenbaum chasing I would call him the Kenosha Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he did what he had to do. Like, what? I mean, oh, God. You know what? Yeah, so, I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
Like I said, Rosenbaum got what he had. He said, shoot me, nigga. So, shit. He
Okay,
got what he wanted. That's the crazy shit to me because, like I said, you got so many black folks who actually, I don't think they really care. I think they just want something to be mad about. They're just trying to, you're getting white privilege. It has nothing to do with anything. Because Jacob Blake definitely got black privilege because he should have caught more of a case than he did and got paid well for it. But, like it's crazy because the dude, any other situation where you let a white dude say nigga in public unabashedly, niggas lose their shit. Niggas, the actual niggas lose their, and you got all this shit here, but motherfuckers act like none of this happened. This motherfucker's known child molester. Nobody cares. All of a sudden, white people kill white people and it's white privilege. That's what it is. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. People just want to be mad about something.
Heidi is fucked up. That's funny. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. But if he had true white privilege, Kyle, he'd had a speedy trial.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the rights under the Bill of Rights. Under the Constitution, right to a fair and speedy trial. So I sincerely doubt that. But that's just crazy, bro. And yeah, like I mentioned, David Dorn. Last summer was extremely fucked. Extremely fucked. He did say to Heidi, he did some time in prison, so some dudes in there, you're gay for the state, straight at the gate, and I'm not gonna judge. and he came in as a chomo, so either he went to PC. I've seen documentaries. Mm-hmm. Either he went to PC, or he was out there busting the wide open for some honey buns, and protecting himself from anal slavery, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, he was probably, say you get what you give. So who knows? And he was a little man. He was a very little man. So I don't know about old bro, man. It's tough. Aaron, what's the motherfucking deal? If y'all don't remember, it's been a while. Shout out to Mr. Man Things. Good to see you, sir. Yes, he was.
Absolutely. Multiple charges. They threw out the FBI evidence. Jesus Christ. For what? I mean,
they did. They threw out the FBI. Wow. That's crazy.
You know what? I'm starting to lose my faith in this case.
But even when you throw out like the evidence though, like did they show it at all and throw it out? I mean, because again, sometimes it just takes a little bit of something. You can kind of see some. People can still be swayed. Like they'll say, ignore that. Human nature, you can still be swayed. You know what I mean? So
true.
Yeah.
Very true. It's possible, man. It's possible, bro. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see what happens, bro. Because they lied. Oh, okay.
So
so the defense is coming up next, right? The prosecution's already had their case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they rested their case. So now it's the defense.
All right, well, time for the defense.
They almost got handed on a silver platter with the old buddy.
Right. Yeah. About to say. So it's theirs to lose. But then again, with the whole politicized drama and the whole BLM factor in there, even though a number of white people who got shot did shooting. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, if a Negro had got shot in that whole thing, he'd already been under the jail, bro. He already know what it is.
They'd have hit him. Unfortunately, it'd have been bad for Kyle. We be talking about Kyle who right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
fair enough. Now, Heidi, I agree with you on that. I see what you mean. And I'm not one to I definitely see what you mean. I'm not one to say like, I am the law, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But I mean, he killed a chomo, and this guy was a repeat offender. It's not like he's some guy who made a mistake. No, I don't want to say a mistake. He made a terrible decision when he was like 19 or 20, like a 17 or 16-year-old, or someone lied to him. This guy was a repeat offender of children. I'm glad people like him are dead. He did nothing for society, but still, murder is murder, and your life is a life. But I'm gonna put his life underneath that of a roach, a piece of cornflakes in a refrigerator, or maybe a one-eyed possum. So I ain't worried about that chomo though. But I see what you mean though, Heidi. Fair enough.
I think we should ask the young men that he violated, what they feel, how they feel about it. But see what people try to do now. See what they're going to probably try to say. Well, he was part of the LGBT community. That's what it, because you realize they never talk about it when these dudes go and violate these little boys. They never call them gay. They never associate that label with it, but it is what that is. You know what I mean? And I guess because we don't want to tie certain things and stuff, but it is what it is. You're committing homosexual acts with small children. That's what he did, right? And he violated a bunch of young boys, and so here we are now. Find those young men, and I'd like to know what they think. All an illusion. Appreciate the love. Say pop did just time.
Man, look, bro. I'm very tame, honestly. Oh God! And I saw a New York Times, and I'm gonna use quotations, piece video on their YouTube site about the whole shooting, and they edited out so much fucking footage, as expected. Heidi, thank you. And it's just so fucking biased, dude. Like, give us the facts of the matter, okay? But they don't want to do that. They have to push a certain agenda. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So I'm oh God, it's disgusting. Media is not used anymore to inform people. It's there to control people. It's used to shape what you're supposed to believe, not give you the facts of the matter. I'm trying to think when that was ever mass media's purpose. I mean, honestly, there's a lot to say. I remember back in the 60s, the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. Oh yeah, Vietnam attacked us. It was a fucking lie. That said it's a fucking lie. I am not part of Q. I am not. Look, there won't be a bunch of arrests of Congress people, I sincerely doubt that. It is indoctrination, Shonda. You're absolutely right. It's fucking insane, bro. But hopefully, at least in this case, from the facts we've seen, how it becomes the military. That's how became a multitasker. Honestly, the military do that to you. They force you to do that. But yeah, man, I don't want to hold the line so long as my 14 minutes. But yeah, I my personal feelings on the Kenosha kid. I hope he gets off for a very light sentence, time served, ideally. But we'll see. The politicizing of this case, it's insane, and it all ties back to last summer, which a lot of people memory hole. Like they forget about all the billions of dollars in businesses burnt down. Forget about David Dorrance, Corey Turner. That 1-year-old got shot in New York, and so many other. I remember the one video of the guy walking his daughter down the street in New York, one of the boroughs, and he got shot in the head in front of his daughter. Forget about all that, memory hole, all that shit. That's not important because we have a narrative. We have to, But we're in a post-racial issues America thanks to certain people in office. We can't talk about that.
We can't.
I'm gonna stop right there.
No, we can't talk about it till the next guy gets in, and there might not be a Democrat. Then the racism is back. Post-racial means you better not print nothing race. You better not print nothing about a police shooting. You better not in Biden's America. Just a little bit of inflation. That's all. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of record-setting inflation. That's all.
Yeah, go buy a turkey for the Thanksgiving. See how much it cost for it last year.
No, this is what it's more than double what it was last year. They said they said something about the average price of a 16-pound turkey, 15 or 16-pound turkey last year was like $28 or something. They said it's something like upwards of 56 bucks. I think somebody said 70. Then this was the 56 bucks. I think was last week I checked it. Somebody earlier, I think today or yesterday, said it was 70. I don't know where they got their source from, but again, hey, that's what I say. You got to get that turkey, put that bitch on layaway. For Thanksgiving, you're gonna have to be short on Christmas presents so you can have some Thanksgiving turkey this year. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at. Yeah. At least we got that black woman in the White House who y'all ain't seen. Kanye told y'all ain't seen that bitch since when? That motherfucker told y'all she was black. She was rocking chucks. I think that bitch he walked through on a little nappy coat, had the lugs on, whatever. She was doing all that shit. And then as soon as she got in, she ain't called y'all bitches back at all. BLM, we haven't heard back from Biden. Well, of course you didn't, you stupid fucks. They don't give a fuck about you. You played your part and on to the next one. Like they'll call you back in a couple of years when they need you again, and you'll fall for it again.
Yep, like Ice Cube told y'all. Oh, we'll get you after the election. Pass this bill, and then we'll tell you what's in it. Like, this is Banana Republic, and we're here, and I'm just waiting for the. You ever seen Blade Runner? Not the new one, but like the old one, like back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I watched it on acid one time. Fucking trippy. But anyway, that's a long story. And it's just like the faceless cities and like giant corporations running everything, oligarchies and shit like that. Amazon and Starbucks and Walmart and McDonald's just run everything. There's no independent businesses anymore, no small businesses anymore. Middle class is gone. It's just the poor and the super duper elite rich, and that's not going to change. I just see that's what's. Yeah, it's boring. What's not boring when you're sober? You think too much when you're sober, but when you're tripping balls, it's really interesting. Really interesting. The music is awesome too. But anyway, that's my drug days. I left that behind. I'm sanctified now. I ain't doing that shit no more. But yeah, this is what it's leading into that dystopian society that we all fear is going to come, but we know it's going to come eventually. So yeah, just stuff like that. The erosion of people's right to protect themselves, protect their communities. If there's some sort of cause the government supports, then they'll allow you to burn down. Random strangers come to your neighborhood and burn it down. I remember a video back during them riots last summer. Some white liberals and almost saying, look, there's white people in the audience, and this is what it is. You get mad. Okay, do what you gotta do. I just ask you, leave a like and maybe donate to Honcho. This is Daniel talking. This ain't nothing to do with Honcho. Okay. She was handing out bricks to young black kids. Hey, throw these bricks. And when a black woman caught these fucking assholes, I don't have a Tinder. I have no social media, except maybe YouTube kind of, honey. And she's handing them bricks, and then the black lady, hey, white bitch, handing black boys these bricks. They didn't get arrested for that shit. That white bitch is like, how much it cost? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. You let other people come in your neighborhood and dictate what you're supposed to believe in. Mm-hmm. I don't see that in Little Korea. You know what Little Korea was doing, or Koreatown? They had the rooftop Koreans popping, protecting that. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
They're protecting their shit. They understand that shit.
Oh my god, I love rooftop Koreans, bro. Because in South Korea, I'm pretty sure North Korea, military service is mandatory. So everyone's had some sort of military training. Male, I think female as well. How you doing, Miss Bill? Yes, I am fast. Yes, absolutely. Especially in bed. But it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it is what it is, man. We need to take people like them. Like shit, I know them Arabs protect their communities too. Mm-hmm. They will blow it when you niggas try to rob them. That's why they got all that plexiglass up in their damn stores. I've been seeing a lot of Arabs getting in gunfights with these neighborhood niggas out here. They don't play with that shit. Protect your community. See? Yeah, absolutely right.
That's the thing, because when you earn something, when you've gone and you've had to get something the hard way, and you've put, you've invested, blood, sweat, and tears into something, you understand the value and what this means to not only you and your current livelihood, but future generations. Because those cultures, they may have the first generation, maybe the store owner or whatever, but they know, hey, this investment is going to get my kid through college. They're going to get into some type of medical field or engineering or whatever, where they're going to make good money. And that way they can take care of their kids. And this bloodline is going to, increase with each passing generation. Well, it was up to a certain point. Hopefully that can continue. But it's a little tougher now. But, and they understand that. But niggas we look backwards. We're like, hey, slavery. It's like, what? Why are we still worried about it? Like, I get it. I understand it. But we got to worry about the now and the future. And niggas been so worried about that shit. That's why we still in last place. That's why we're not growing as a population. We're not learning as a population. We're not earning as a population. You know what I mean? And then somehow, some way, it's supremacy. It's this white supremacy This invisible white man created this invisible system that I can't explain. I can't put the details on it, but he's doing it. I know it because I just feel like he is. It's like, good grief, bro. So
It's sad, bro. It's sad. Yeah, and Sarah Heidi tripping, man. I love it, bro. That's why I say the crazy shit I say. Hopefully some of it's logical and it makes sense, and maybe someone agrees with it. But that's all I got to say, man. Good luck to Kyle, man. I mean, this political climate's it's fucked. But yeah, hopefully he gets lesser charges. I sincerely doubt they're gonna, find him not guilty of everything. I sincerely doubt that. We'll see what happens.
yeah, they don't want more riots because if he gets cleared of everything, yeah, like you said, it's been politicized. Niggas gonna find a reason. Like niggas ain't got nothing to do with this shit, but they gonna find a reason to be back in Kenosha riding again. They gonna burn down whatever's left that they can find.
Yeah, that's it. So. Just keep lowering the property value, and then especially the black communities. Oh my God, I heard like black communities got hit the worst. Black businesses got hit the worst on those riots last summer. How insane is that? I remember some Hispanic communities, the gangs were protecting the community, especially in Chicago. No, them Lion Kings, you niggas ain't running up in here burning that shit down. A Modere, all that shit. We ain't playing that. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Yeah, Ben. I mean, I think so. Well, look. Oh God, those riots. I live in Virginia, right, and I'm in Norfolk. And in Portsmouth, there was a gentleman who was standing under a statue. They were knocking down one of the civil rights statues. He got scalped essentially by the statue. So expect more of that. Hopefully not as bad as it was last summer. If this kid wants, we'll see.
Yeah, motherfuckers gonna be riding next to the shit again. Like I said, I don't understand because motherfuckers will be way out in Wisconsin. There'll be motherfuckers in New York mad about some shit. Riding about it. You need to be riding about them goddamn mandates, damn it. Instead of
they are too. They are too. You don't see that on CNN.
Oh, okay, okay. Good. Oh.
That's all I got.
But yeah.
Oh man, that's all I got, brother.
It's crazy. Well, Dan the man, you already know, as always, spitting hot. He spits hot. Top 5 of all time. Dan, and Dan. He spits hot fire.
Get too close, man. That was the funniest part. He started choking on Wyclef John, which is funny as hell. But yeah, that's it, man. Oh my God. Look, man, y'all protect y'all family, y'all community. Well, I don't know about the community, but at least protect your household. The best you can do, man. Shit's insane, bro.
It is.
Shit's insane. Yeah, have a good night, man.
You too, Dan, man. I appreciate the call as always, sir.
Absolutely, Honcho. Y'all be safe.
All right, you too. Are Dollar Trees even $1 anymore? You know what I'm saying? They like the tree fitty tree. $3.50. You can get you 2.5 things. That's terrible. Like the inflation. I apologize. So rude of me. When inflation has gotten so bad, the Dollar Tree is no longer the Dollar Tree. It's called a little more than a Dollar Tree. No more Family Dollars. It was not Family Dollars, Family Dollars. Only drink the finest of breast milks. Oh man, what do you say? One of them go across the bridge to get the Cambodian. Like, dog, Dave was ahead of his time. Got really, really woke after that, and I'm not tripping. It's like still funny, but man, appreciate the love. It's all an illusion. Yes, it's not the same anymore. Right? It is definitely it's definitely unfortunate, right? Oh, did you fix that? But it's just and it's crazy, right? Because that's the thing. Like, even though Dave is I would say maybe like center leftish kind of, maybe whatever. Not like super woke, but he has his own views and things. And I don't 100% agree with him, right? But I find him funny. I find it entertaining. Like, it's crazy because everything is so politicized now that that person's they're a Democrat. I can't listen to anything they say. I can't. So is it really that serious? Is it really that serious? They're a Republican. They're so far right. Like, what? What is far right now? Right? Everything is far right. Like, Hillary Clinton's far right now. That's what I'm saying. Uh, I mean that's where we are. This is where we are in society now. It's just like it makes no sense. Build back better. Just back. That's what I'll be what I was called. It's just back. There's no building. There's no better. It's just back. This is where we are. Uh, the baby's crying. The yeah, it's there's some conversations I want to get into, right? But some conversations are just better like Discord conversations because we can like you can kind of the back and forth is really good. And then some conversations like I said they're more entertaining when it's like when you can't have that kind of group element to it. Some of them are not great entertainment, but it's just every day. The more I start paying attention, because like I said, there was a point in time I was just like oblivious. I didn't really give a shit, and I still don't give like a shit necessarily about politics. But it's this new generation has politicized everything, and that's the game now, right? That's the game. Everything is political. Like what you used to think was okay, I step away from this. This is my personal life. It has become political. There's no avoiding it, right? So you kind of have to play the game now. Like you say, oh, I won't play. But you don't play, you lose. Period. Like this is where we are. And so, brought back that, backed up shit. But yeah, and it's unfortunate because that's what certain groups want, and this is what they've wanted all along. This is what they've been working for diligently since I don't know, World War II at least. Like I mean, there's been certain groups who have been pushing a narrative. You've seen this happen to other countries around the rise of Heidi's favorite, some say dictator, but you had people who were sympathizers, right here in America. Well, that wasn't so bad. You've seen the Marxists again, and people who went to socialism, communism, whatever it may be. People sympathize with Bao, like all these people who've killed millions of people, and they figure that somehow, some way, it's gonna work here in America, right? This is just like wouldn't it be easier for you just to go to one of those places and live there if you think it's such a great idea? It doesn't work, right? So why is most people like, why do you think it would work here? Right? Oh, because this current system isn't benefiting me. It benefits nobody. Nothing. It benefits those who play, right? And just because you don't want to play, or you want to change the rules doesn't mean you're going to win in that system. If you're not willing to play the game, like again, I look at life as, and I've said this before, I look at life as like, say we're in this jungle, right? Say there is no civilization. What the fuck do you got to do? You got to get out there and get it. You got to go hard every day or you don't get to eat, right? And you got to do a lot of fucking. You got to do a whole lot of fucking. But you're going to have to hunt. You're going to have to be willing to kill. You're going to have to be willing to get your hands dirty. You're going to have to be willing to deal with situations and go all the way there with them. But people are so fortunate they don't realize that America has created a situation to where you don't have to go all the way for nothing. You can be the laziest piece of shit and fucking have just you can have an idea and get rich off an idea and like never execute it. Like it can never come to fruition. Just tell people, invest in this idea I got. And people will throw money at it if it seems plausible. And people have gotten rich doing it, right? And it's crazy, right? That it's only can happen here in America because the people who did the dirty work, who took it there. But yet you got all these motherfuckers who benefit from this shit, who turn around and want to like to dismantle it, one, then want to discredit everybody who put that. Like, look, I don't care if you're black, white, green, gray, blue, orange, yellow, purple, fuchsia, magenta. What did Trill say? He said a color. I'm like, niggas don't even know that color. What did he call that shit? It's a grayish color, not like a darker gray. I can't remember what the fuck he said. I can't even remember what he said. But anyway, and so we're in a situation where, like, you got motherfuckers rooting for the people who are taking advantage of you, and I'm talking about from the top to the fucking bottom. You got motherfuckers rooting for politicians who don't give a shit about you. You got people out there who are caping for Travis Scott, right? And I'm not saying, oh, we're gonna take all his money and dude obviously clearly don't give a fuck. But my thoughts are like, and this is why I say this is where I think about stuff. And it's not to come across callous, but it's always to keep myself in a grounded state of mind. And that is, do they have to give a fuck? And there's no guarantee when you buy his, oh, but he's got to love me. He's got to give a fuck. No, he doesn't. You've already made the exchange. Like, the reasonable thing says that they should care. This motherfucker got millions and millions of fans. How can he give a fuck about you, a particular individual that he doesn't know? Even if he only had 50,000 fans, and every one of those single fucking fans, as a human being, you cannot have an intimate relationship or an intimate connection with but so many people, right? And 50,000 is way above that number. And so, like I said, we got people who just buy into this bullshit. Same people are buying into whatever the box tells them, right? And that's the scary thing. That's the scary thing, because I think these last few months, year or so, has shown you that people that you thought you rocked with, like you thought were cool, well, that person's all right. I'd have a beer with that person on the weekend. I'd invite this person to my home, maybe. Showed you that when a small amount of fear is injected into the program. A small amount, it's just fear plus one, is injected into the program. People start losing their shit. I've seen things that have blown my mind. The things that people are doing to their children, and I'm not talking about the chomos, right? I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about in the name of safety. Like, people don't understand the psychological damage that a child is supposed to be free, supposed to play, supposed to be able to just, discover, learn, and we put these motherfuckers in boxes and cover their face up, what I'm saying, and separate them from fucking everybody. And them motherfuckers pre-programmed. Like, it's sad, because I saw this picture, and what's today? Today's Tuesday? I need to come back with the theme days, because there's some shit I want to show y'all. I got some videos and things I want to show y'all, so we probably do it tomorrow. But these people, dog, they're doing shit to their kids, and it's crazy. The lady's like, oh yeah, my daughter was homeschooled all of last year, and I think she even said she got her jabbed. Like, she's relatively young, and they went back to school, and it was picture day. And she's like, the people at the picture day, I think they took pictures outside, and they were like, hey, you can take your mask off for your picture. And it's like behind her, you see her making like this fucking mad face. She took her picture with like these crazy ass looking eyes. Like, she's like, yeah, my daughter really abided by the rules, and she was really aware. No, you forced that on her. You forced that on your child. Your child will never be normal. But in this day and age of the internet, who needs to be normal? They'll be woke. They'll be indoctrinated. They'll be told that, men are terrible and, all this other stuff, and they'll get a turkey baster. And anyway, and this is what they'll grow up into, dog. We're deteriorating. And, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here on the channel. Like I say, if you're in the Discord, you can see some things. Like I say, present a lot of stuff that is factual. I got something to post in that chat too. I gotta show you all about the blood donors. and certain people can't give blood because of decisions that they made, because the plasma is basically worthless. So, it's crazy. Really? Did he? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, here's my thing, bro. Like, I'm a terrible YouTuber. I'm terrible, right? And sometimes folks be behind the scenes telling me, you need to be doing this, doing that. I'm terrible, right? Because I don't have this switch. I don't have the switch that's like, that'll get views, let me do it. Like, I don't have that. It's kind of like, we're going to stream tonight. I'm going to figure out something to talk about tonight. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And so, like, I don't wake up with, like, I got to find the store. All right. And it's like, and it's super crazy because I'll come across stories and shit like days and days in advance, and then I'll see like a few days later, this YouTuber, that YouTuber, this person, that person did it. I'm like, got a lot of views. Maybe I should have did that story. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, oh well, there's that. Um, you eat your turkey? Really? Really? You're a terrible person. Um, so yeah, and that's the crazy part, right? Like everybody told you go do this thing, and then they're like, oh, well, we can't use that. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Like it's man, yeah, that's wow. Motherfuckers walking to it. They did. They walked into his fucking mouth. Another thing is, let me see. Just gotta refresh this thing. Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all that weird shit. But again, and the youth are so, for them to be so woke and in tune with everything, they're oblivious to a lot of shit. Everything else, oh, this is cool. That's just neat. Like everything at this point, people can say they're creating new designs, they're doing something. Everything is influenced by something. Everything has it has ties to something that's been previously done. So every artist, every fashion designer, every whatever, they're inspired by something else, right? And so you just kind of got to figure out, you know, where they're coming from, what they're really about. Like I said, people are open and brazen with it now. So like nobody cares. So if they are into some weird shit, they're basically saying it. Like, because people always say, like, you got to listen to words. You got to listen to things. I know this is way off the Rittenhouse stuff, but like people will say, oh, well, that person said, thank God, and all this. Yeah, they did. They said thank God, or I pray to God, and all this. But what God are they praying to? Just because they say God, it doesn't mean it's the same God that you believe in. And people automatically assume, because people use certain words. Well, you gotta understand the definitions of those words, right? I know everybody's not religious. It's just whatever you got going on is whatever you got going on. But I'm just saying for those people who connect with some of these artists, right? Oh, he got a Grammy and said thank God. And well, again, you may be thanking a different God. His God might not be your God. Which God? He might have multiple fucking gods. In the microwave, I can't find I don't know, turkey that's gonna fit in the microwave. I gotta go make my layaway payment on my turkey. Hopefully I can get it out in time. I might have to have Thanksgiving late the way these turkeys ride. Turkey going higher than the price of gold right now. I have to hodl me some turkey. Oh man, that green hatch chili, the shit that they put on the Whataburger. They got it at Whataburger. That they put on that shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gotta go get a predatory loan so that I can get a fucking turkey for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at. Are we finna start that project? You see, Dakota's not here. Okay, Dakota's not here. We don't have to start that argument, right? I know Dakota was here the other night cooking in the middle of the night. Fuck it, we finna do it. I'm finna put a poll up. I'm finna put a poll up. Some of you know where this is going. Some of you may not. This has started heated debate. This has started violence in the Discord, right? Threats of violence. This question I'm finna ask. Don't nobody shoot me. That's kind of stupid. Let me word that better. Where'd the fucking poll go through? Okay, there it is. Goddamn YouTube. Yes, I get sensual with massage oils with my turkey. I give my turkey the Deshaun Watson treatment. Mm. Oh, Heidi, I keep the poll up. Heyo. We have 7 votes. This has started threats. This has been violence. This has been this question here has been a problem, right? I wish that dude would have called yesterday. That dude talking all that shit. Burnt his ass up. He was already fucking emotional. You've lost. You've shown emotions. Like that's how I tell motherfuckers. The den is not for everybody. Though. Like, if you come to this motherfucker getting offended, that's why I politely recommend people to go elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's been violence, and then like the definition, it's crazy. I don't know. He was upset. The dude was upset something. I don't even know whatever points he was trying to make. He was mad because Heidi was doing her Heidi thing, and he was upset because he's like, "Oh, you letting this white girl, be a mod?" And he was like, and I was trying to be polite because of the topic matter, and you don't want to scare people. So I was trying to be polite, but I want to be like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out." But I like to give people, an opportunity. But there's like I always have this little. It's like a little electric something when it starts pulsating more and more. I start getting angry. It's like a weird thing. And motherfucker just in there crying about this white girl. And then I'm gonna call in, open up the line. Like, you get the line when just like everybody else gets the line. But like I said, he didn't do it. And it would have been pleasant though. Like I said, I'd have burned his ass up. He was already like emotional about the Heidi thing. So it would have been one of those situations. But a lot of motherfuckers like that, dog, like, be like, who's there? Remember that one dude that called in? This was a while back. He was just talking about how he was gonna get on my ass when he got on the line, and then he was gonna do this and then do that, and then it ended up being like the most amicable situation of all time. I can't remember his name. And yeah. Yeah. Trans man, yes. Dog, it's Heidi is a fire starter. The Heidi, yeah. So we just call her the Heidi. We're still trying to figure out where she is, but yeah, he just I'm gonna call him. It's like that. I'm not gonna run from a conversation. We can talk about whatever. Like I said, but by the end of that, it wouldn't have been good for him. I can already tell. Like I said, I'm not gonna make no empty fucking threats and all that other crazy shit. You're mad because you're in a venue or an arena or a community where we have an established culture in this community. You know what I mean? And everybody's welcome to partake in it. But like I say all the time, if you don't like the culture, then it just might not be the place for you. I think it's a very welcoming environment. I think this is a place where people come in and I guess kick back, let your hair down, whatever you want to call it. And, nothing should be taken very seriously. But until we have like serious conversations. But, some grown men get their panties all in a wad, and like I said, the dudes these days, like I said, it's a lot of motherfuckers not gonna make it. Like it's a lot of motherfuckers not gonna make it. Like I just, I get it, but whatever. Yeah, that's what I say. You gotta give. I give Heidi her credit, um, just a little bit. Just hanging around Heidi is to help my credit go up. Cause the more white friends you got, the higher your credit score. But Heidi's been hanging tough. That's what I'm saying. Like, one people know, well, you look what Heidi's been hanging tough in the den since it was like a terrible, terrible place, super sausage factory. There was like no purpose to any stream. Never talked about the topics. Like, but it would be like three people in here. Like when three people in the den was a good day. It'd be like I might be one of those three people. It'd be like Heidi, 335, and maybe that kid. One of the I can't remember which kid. The kid that either had the chickens, or I think the other one who was the school shooter. He was definitely a prototypical school shooter. But hopefully it never happened. I don't think it ever did. But and it would be like those days, which were terrible den days. But we had fun. So yeah. If you're Latinx, you're definitely white then. If you say Latinx, then you're definitely white. You're a white liberal. 'Cause I don't know anybody Spanish that embraces that fucking Latinx shit. Like, the only people who do that are like the LGBT people, because they put their sexuality before their race in every situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's there aren't black gays, they're gay blacks. You know what I'm saying? It's like that has to be, first. Um, and then what I find really amusing is like how there's like the Black Trans Lives Matter thing. Cool, whatever. Like first it was Black Lives Matter, then it's this whole wave of Black trans. Like we're talking about like a small percentage of a small percent of people, right? Like what is really going on with that? But whatever. Again, like these are the things that I find extremely odd and peculiar. But this is the stuff that we push to the forefront. We're going to trample the rights of the majority to make a small minority of a small minority try to feel comfortable about the decisions that they make about themselves. When in reality, nobody's doing anything to them. Like, they may off themselves at a higher rate than most people do. I think that's something to be investigated. Instead, I can tell you why it has nothing to do with outside pressure. I definitely believe it's some internal things going on. I think you've seen a lot of these detransitioners. That's the thing, right? If you had it all figured out and then you want to go back, wonder what that's all about. I think a lot of people regret decisions that they make, and some may no going back. You have a small amount, like probably less than 10 a year, who actually get offed because of some type of sexual deception or something like that, right? Because let's be honest, 99.99% of the 3 black trans that exist in America look like me with a wig on, right? So it's like if a dude is getting into that type of stuff, he knows what he's getting into. There's very little fooling going on, right? So pretty opposite toward sexuality, gender, and race, and exactly, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like we're in a crazy society, bro. We're in a crazy, crazy society. No, I saw it was between 18 to 24. Yeah, I saw that. It was from some Christian university. I saw that. I was going to talk about that, but I was like, I'll drop that in the Discord. Again, television, media, they're doing exactly what they want. I was waiting for that project. I was waiting for that, bro. No, yeah, but this is the same thing. Like, um, again, like I do believe like they're picking from a certain pool, and that's why I have to be more cautious too about one these studies, who's behind them, what's their agenda, what's their background, right? Um, and how these studies were conducted. So, I saw that, but 40%, excuse me, is a significant number, right? And then I wonder how much of that is female and flip and flop, because right now I'm hearing that there is like an epidemic of young girls like majorly identifying with anything but men, right? And so you got to look at a few things. And these are my thoughts. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a random nigga on the internet rambling. One, men are not men anymore. The men that get portrayed on television are not the type of men that, women necessarily find attractive. They're more female. They're more feminine. They're softer. So that natural attraction that is in that women are attracted to men for their masculinity doesn't exist. That's why women are angrier, women are more upset, and they feel like there's fewer options. Those men don't get portrayed. The masculine men don't get portrayed on TV anymore. Like even look at the superheroes, right? Superheroes weak as shit. Superheroes ain't even allowed to work out no more. So it's gotta be weird looking. Illusion, do you have do you have the men's room permission in the Discord? Remind me. I don't know if I gave it to you. We were talking about something there, I just thought about it. But but what they are being shown is a bunch of masculine ass women, right? They're showing women are strong, women are this. I believe women are naturally attracted to strengths that they normally don't possess, right? And I'm not saying women aren't strong, and I know you got strong black women out there. Don't fight me, don't jump me, don't beat me up. And then when men are being shown as weak, men are being shown as idiots. They're being shown as, more and more useless. And so they're growing up attracted to something different. And then, like say, society, those who are attention seeking are promoting, the prides, the alphabets, the flags, and all these different things. And that's where the attention seeking is, especially if you're a young girl trying to figure it out. Well, hey, we're giving out attention over here. Well, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go over here. So I think it's more women that are co-signing this, because I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it. I talked to the little one, right? And we have frequent talks, and there's a lot of that apparently going on in the school. They had a dance the other day, and her mom, went and chaperoned, and she said that there's a bunch of little girls out there girling it up. Like, I guess so-called trying to be sneaky with it or whatever. When I do pick her up from school, I look around, I see a bunch of weirdo ass kids, right? Because this is what's being promoted to them. At the most influential stages of their lives, they're being told that the strong and powerful and the leaders and all this stuff are gay people or trans people or whatever. And so they're trying to figure out that's what they're trying to be. It's not the fireman, the police officer, or, insurance salesman anymore. All right, that was never a thing, but whatever. But I'm just saying, it's just like now all of this nonsense is being promoted by the teachers, by the media, television, in the music, and there's a lot of confusion, right? And so that's what I think a lot of it is. I think a lot of these kids are going to grow up super duper miserable. They're going to feel a certain way. And then also, like I said, one, they're being told to hate masculine men. They're being told to hate masculinity. It's toxic until somebody's about to fucking die, and then you need somebody. And then you want to dismiss them after they fucking save your fucking life. They've been told to hate white men especially, right? Niggas, we fall next in line. And then, anything that portrays any kind of anything macho, machismo. So, they definitely mad at the Hispanic man because, the Hispanic man got the machismo. So, like I said, it's unfortunate because the national order of things has been upset. It has been disheveled. And I think it's going to be quite some time before it gets put back in place. So, but I do see a mass movement. I do think things are going. I honestly, though, I'm starting to think that there may be a lot more of something else going on. But of course, we know who controls the media. And so they're trying to avoid showing that. But people are slowly but surely pushing back. The homeschool trend is skyrocketing. You're seeing, people pushing back on some of these mandates, but they don't want to show that on TV because then, again, if I see it on the box and there's thousands and thousands of people pushing back, sharing relevant information, then what? Wait, how does this apply to me? Wait? Did you see all the fucking soccer stars? Oh, not soccer, but soccer players dropping off and having all these heart problems? You realize everybody at the Travis Scott venue had heart issues, cardiac issues? Chick on a ventilator, cardiac issues. And did you see the world's greatest? Like, I don't know how many of y'all are on Twitter, but Pfizer tried to meme today, and they immediately had to mute their shit and put it to where nobody could reply because people were getting in their shit. Talking about fucking ratioed. Like, they used that meme. I don't think they knew what that meme really meant, how that works, right? It's the one with like the little dude, he's reaching out to the balloon or whatever, and that big fucking pink thing comes up from behind him and grab him. And he's like, the something like your brain, and then the balloon was like conspiracy theories, and then the big pink thing was like the science. And dog, they got on their fucking shit, dog. It's crazy. How does a parent teach algebra? Khan Academy. The For your educational solutions, it's free, right? And it works. Khan Academy. That's what I recommend. If you're a parent trying to teach, like even if you ain't get Khan Academy. Khan Academy is going to be the greatest solution. Well, I won't say the greatest solution, but it'll be a big help to a lot of people who are, well, both. What? Ain't gonna be no job, so they're gonna have to learn how to, con some motherfuckers out some money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Khan Academy is a shit though. Like, it's a great resource. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a great resource. Use it. It's free. Um, so it's definitely dope. They got up to college level courses on there. I mean, it's gonna teach you from like elementary to, high school AP, college level courses, some things. And then they have, I think they've added some like programming stuff. Oh yeah. Like I say, if you're trying to do it, I don't know your math strengths, you might want to get on there and do a little bit yourself. It definitely helps. It breaks it down, as far as it's definitely, I gotta fucking do it myself. Because like I said, I have not fucked around in a while. So you gotta do it. Cons Academy, where you pay way more than it's worth. And you gotta deal with that. But like I said, man, the den, we're here. And even through the tough times, sometimes you just gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh it off and keep pushing. And just, let everybody else do their thing. Like I said, I'm a person believer. As long as you ain't crossing over in my space and you ain't trying to, interrupt my way of living, we all good. Ding. But it's about that time. Like I said, if I get ready to wind it down. What's something I was gonna fucking say? Something I was gonna fucking say. Crazy Pfizer meme. I feel like it was something I was gonna say and I fucking missed it. But like I said, that's the reason we're here. A place where people can feel free to speak their minds. Where a place where people can feel free to have discussions. And I want y'all to understand. Some people come in here and they see it as one thing, and depending on the topic of conversation that day, the energy may completely change. I think a lot of us here kind of lean a certain way or understand or whatever. I don't want to say everybody does, but some of us do. And some people are different. At no point in time should you not ever believe, or should you ever believe that you're not welcome in the den. Okay? Unless you're a stalker and then getting on some weird shit and then making it really uncomfortable for everybody. Other than that, and I'm not talking about who y'all think I'm talking about. As long as you're not making it uncomfortable people, everybody's welcome in the den. And you know, there's that. I didn't Freudian anything. And it wasn't cock, it was dick or something like that. I think it was something about contradiction in Wisconsin or some shit like that. So yeah, it was something, you know, play as fuck up. So I'm about to go slang. So let's see. I had to get to the oh man. Other than that, man, like I say, it's all good. We just come here to have a good time. You know, the world is gonna be what the world is gonna be. I'm getting here, we talk our shit, but you gotta be able to laugh at shit. Like if you when the laughter stops, oh, it's over with. What's that book? Then I can't think of his fucking name now. The guy, he was in a concentration camp in Germany, and he talked about, you know, the people who survived and the people who didn't survive. And the people who survived found a way to make laughter of shit, even though when they were going through the worst times. He talked about how those people had to have hope for what was on the other side. You know what I mean? And those tended to be the people who survived. People who gave up, and he said, like, it got to a point where you could see when somebody was going to die before they died, because once they gave up hope, like the behaviors they started having and the way they started, you know, it's like you could almost tell within 24 to 48 hours when it was going to be a wrap for somebody because they gave up. You know what I'm saying? But what was it called? It was Man's Search for Meaning. I think it was Man's Search for Meaning. Frank, I keep wanting to say Frank Vogel. It's not Frank Vogel. It's Frank something. You know what I'm saying? Ordinary Man. I don't think I've read Ordinary Man. I don't think I've ever even heard of it. I want to say it's Viktor Frankl. I think it's Man's Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl. Because I always want to call him Frank Vogel, but I think it's Viktor Frankl. Yeah, and just it's. And he was like a doctor before all the shit happened. And he talked about, you know, once he made it through and once everything was over and he came back, and how like the German people, like they were like, we had no idea. Like they told us one thing and we had no idea. And yeah, I don't know. It's always Frank Vogel. It's like Viktor Frankl, but every time I think of it, I always think Frank Vogel. It says two older, some guys. I don't even know what that is. I speak English. Who didn't believe in the BS but worked on the Eastern Front. But like I say, it's I'm gonna check it out. I'll write it down. I've revamped my den, I guess, so you know when y'all have suggestions and things. I used to do that way back in the day when y'all would suggest certain stuff. Like 60% of it I didn't do, but I would try my best to, you know, look into different things. If y'all mention certain shit, I do my best to check it out. Ordinary Man. Who wrote Ordinary Man? Yes, he is. Yeah, try to distance them as much as you want to, Heidi. They're affiliated. They're all affiliated. They're German. They're affiliated. You know what's sad, right? Because overall, let's be honest, like German people aren't bad people. They're super nice. They got Wiener Schnitzel, right? But they had a bad run for a little bit. They just kind of had a little bit of little bit of bad PR, right? For a couple of years. Had a guy, funny mustache, whatever. Some people say it was shoe polish. But anyway, and they just had a little bit of a bad run for a little bit. And that stayed with them forever. It's like it's just, you're all like, you're German, you're always gonna be associated with it. Like all the other cool stuff, they got the watches and the cars and the beers and all that stuff. Like, yeah, we like this stuff, but it all goes back to the guy and the thing and the peoples and the hails and all that. But again, so there's that. So it's very unfortunate. I think that's Broderick dreaming of having a wrench in the den, but keep pushing. 2022 is midterms, and we'll see what's going on for you there, Broderick. Oh man, Kyle or Ruggs? I think Ruggs definitely. Ruggs definitely going to. Kyle, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle gets a little bit of time. I don't think that he should, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does because they got to make it look like something. Right? They're entirely an escape black from UK. What? What? Cora, nah, that's a weird place to me. There's a lot of haters on that website, right? One, I don't ever want to sign up for it, right? Because they always try to make you sign up to like see the fucking question. So I don't want to like log in. I could just use my Google thing and log in. You see, yeah, now you got me on Honcho rant mode. And so like I don't ever want to I don't ever want to sign up because like I said, it's a bunch of haters and I don't want to do all like I just hate signing up shit for then they're gonna send me a bunch of emails I'm not gonna ever read. But like, all right, Heidi. Yeah, that's what he called her, the Pinky. Like, yeah, you letting this Pinky be a mod on this channel. That's funny. That's what it was. That's definitely what it was. Pinky. So yeah, and like every time I go in there, like I see people asking like questions, is it possible to do, this or do that? And somebody be like, well, I couldn't do it, so you probably can't. It's like, what? What? Like, oh my God. Like, what is going on there? It's just, it's terrible, right? It's terrible. But motherfuckers be on there just hating, dog. Like, they just be hating on motherfuckers. Like, kids, how hard is it to learn something? Well, it took me 10 years to learn my alphabet, so it's going to take you 20. It's like, what? Like, why are there so many haters? Why are we not more motivational to people who are, yeah, they're full of bullshit, dog. Like, it's like, why are you here? If you have nothing positive to contribute, and it's not even about being positive, like being realistic is cool, but you got motherfuckers on there who are just there to shit on people, right? And I'm just like, this is a terrible place. Why would I want to sign up my email for this shit, right? That's how they trap people, because I don't think people would really use that shit if they didn't force them to do that shit. Yeah, I agree. 17. It's very unfortunate, right? What? What are you talking about? This is the den. This ain't no forum. This is a shit show. What would the den be? The den would be dead. If this was like everybody be nice. Now y'all understand how crazy some of the conversations we've had in this motherfucker are. I think about various things that have taken place, and I think about some of the phone calls between den folks. I think about some of the den conversations between den folks. Dog, it's a very unique place. I thank you all. Anyway, it's time for me to take my ass to bed. I'm gonna go in here. My old lady will probably be in there watching fucking Stranger Things. She started watching that shit. She got hooked on this weird kick. strange shows lately. I think she's gonna try to kill me. She's been watching all. She done watched all the damn forensic files and shit, and then she been watching these other little crazy documentaries on Netflix. I always got to make sure she goes to sleep first. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. All right, Scotty, it's just me and you. Gotta put the dog. All right, you know, dog won't allow him to bed, but now I gotta put him in there as a barrier, so that way if he moves, I know to get on my shit. Nah, it's all good. But she started watching this fucking Stranger Things, and like she gets mad because I don't want to watch it. Right? I don't really want to watch it. I don't really watch too much television. So I'll just come in, and it was actually kind of like it was on an interesting scene or some weird shit. They had like the little weird dogs going on. So I'm like, tell me what's going on. Explain to me. She's mad because she's like in the middle of watching the show, and so she has to like pause it. She's like, well, why don't you just watch it? I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit, but I want to know about it. So I want to know what's going on. So she's getting fucking mad at me, dog. It's funny, but then she explains it all. And then I'll go off and do something else, and then I'll come back a little bit later. She's still watching, and she got a few episodes in, and then I'm like, I see one of them. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing now? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with this? Well, who is that? And this person was with this person, and then these things came out, and then this thing happened, and it was crossing over to the other side. And I was like, well, what's on the other side? Who's doing? And it's just like she gets real. I am legend dog pick. I don't think Scotty would behave. I'd have to definitely use some form of food to bribe his ass to get him to act right. But yeah, it's crazy. It's super funny. But I think it's like my job to annoy the shit out of him. That's just like the man's job. So I find ways that I can do it on a daily and keep it fresh. Oh, I forgot all about the poll. Yeah, the poll, 23 votes. Stuffing, 70% over dressing. Interesting. You watch 2 full seasons. Like I say, I can't do it. Like I gotta pick my battles. Like we watched like say The Harder They Fall the other day. No, I don't really honestly at the movies, not me. Like with most movies I'll figure them out before it's a wrap, like before it's all said and done. Because most of the shit is generic anyway. So but like I believe in the sanctity of the movie theater. Like I done bought these high ass tickets, you know what I'm saying? And bought food and all this other shit. Like I want to go in here and have a good time and enjoy it, right? So I would assume other people would like to do the same, but not everybody has that level of consideration. I don't go to movie theaters near heavily Negro populated areas, right? Because I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get real pissed off. But I like to go like to I don't know where y'all may be, if y'all got like the what is that Star Cinema Grills or the other one, what's the other one called? Star Cinema, and it's another one where they actually serve the food. They are food's actually pretty good. I serve drinks and shit in that bitch too. But yeah, no, I don't ever talk to them. Or I will know I'm all late and be like, hey, you know what? This is finna happen. And she's like, well, how the fuck you know? You ain't ruined it. Like, I can't help that. It's too obvious. But yeah, for the most part, no. I'm just in my head looking at like how this shit don't make sense. Like, how the fuck is this? That makes it definitely bedtime. But I salute you all. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I didn't do a thing. I was doing a bunch of stuff. I don't have it all set up. I spent some time setting some shit up, but I've been just working on a bunch of shit. But we should have some fun tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know. Have y'all ever watched what's the one? What was the Mel Gibson one? I never watched it. Was that shit any good? The Jesus movie. Like you probably couldn't even make it. Like people would probably be offended if you made that movie now, and they actually played that shit in the theaters. What was it? The Passion of the Christ. I think. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it was. Passion of the Christ. Yeah. And like nowadays, if you made that right now, these days, like people would be livid. They would, what? Well, what about the passion of the Muhammad? Why didn't you make it? That's what kills me about people too. It's like if you don't like something, why don't you go make the fucking thing you want to see, right? Like people complain about somebody like even with like these video games, and oh, I saw the fucking crazy shit. Apparently on the new Forza game, I've been seeing a lot of people liking it. Shout out to Cult Classic Cage. There's this new Forza game, right? Forza like a racing game. I don't think I've ever played Forza, but apparently they got this mode. Um, they got this mode to where the whole game slows down so that you can drive. Like basically the physics remain the same, but they slow it down for people who don't have fast racing. Y'all know I have a saying: everything ain't for everybody. If you can't play a racing game on its whatever easiest mode or whatever else the fuck it may be, then maybe it's not for you. Like I like good storytelling games, but I like a little bit of I won't say a little bit, but I want some action in it too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like into this country, most of the West is made the physical Christ, usually white with long hair and idle. Christ is spirit. We made the man the God. That's what I say. I still haven't crossed over into the whatchamacallit. I've definitely overdue for that. I have not been in my book. I have not been reading. So student drive mode. So I definitely got a lot of catching up to do. But appreciate the super chat love. Salo, 120 days of Sodom. That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. But yeah, and the funny part about it is like this person, they're like, yeah, they slowed it down. It's pretty cool mode. And these motherfuckers are driving in like lean mode. Basically, that's what it looks like. You feel like you're drinking lean or something. Just fucking everything slow. And they fucking still wrecked. Like, it's like, how are you in slow mode and you still can't fucking drive the car right? Like, everything's slowed down. Everything's up. But anyway, like I said, it's not about the video game aspect. It's just that people cry and complain about everything. And when you try to make everything inclusive, it makes everything shit, right? Everything does not need to be inclusive. Everything does not need to be for everybody. All right. Going to bed. Maybe sort of not, but kind of. It's bedtime for as far as y'all know. We're back tomorrow at 9 p.m. I've been saying 9 p.m. I've been coming like 9:30 every fucking night. We'll be on time for 9 tomorrow. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all, for being who you are, for being a part of this community. Each and every last one of you wonderful individuals, I thank you. And stuffing has clearly defeated the dressing. Yeah, and that's the crazy part too. Like, motherfuckers want to make. I'm telling you, it's this new generation. They want to make everything. I don't want to play a bunch of super fucking political video games. That's they were crying about Far Cry because it's based in a fucking fake Latin country. It's supposed to be like a pseudo Cuba situation. Well, they didn't dive deep enough into it, and like the shit was political as fuck. They had a trans character in the shit, and that should be like just they had like a cross dresser in the fucking game. Like, I didn't even realize what the fuck was going on. They had gay characters, they had the cross-dresser, they had like, and you wanted to be more fucking political. Like, what the fuck else could you fucking want, right? Like, come on, man. And it was like, whatever. And again, like I said, and that's why I said, I don't know. As much fun as I had playing it, it was a fun game. I don't know if I'm venturing into the next Far Cry, if it gets any more woke than this one. Like, this one was the brink, about as far as I could go, about as much as I could probably deal with, that I could probably safely handle without just be like, fuck this shit and putting the control down. There was sometimes I was like, I think I'm done for the night. But I bought the whatchamacallit edition with the DLC, so I'm gonna play all the DLCs with Voss and all that other shit. But after that, no, I'm done. Oh, wow. Terrible. Wait. How the fuck How the fuck does the poll have a 1% margin of error? Stuffing 70%, dressing 29%. We're missing a percent. What the fuck happened? Yeah. It is what it is. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I am. Ah, that's the problem. See, she got to go get the right ID and get the birth certificate redone. You know, they're doing that shit now. So, all right. I'm going for real. I'm going to bed. I mean it. I'm super serious about this. I'm pushing the button. I'm out. Oh, I gotta push the other thing. It's weird. Oh, stop lying. Green Lab's trying to take all the credit. What? Did I miss that? Whoa! Did I miss a Bretto? That must have been when hold on. No, I said I was done, but I just saw it say Bretto, and I must have missed. Where did that come from? Why did it say Bretto? Yeah, I'm trying to see what happened. Where did I miss that? It didn't even. Oh, you know what? That shit did freeze up, so I might have missed it. Let me see. Let me see what happened. I missed a Bretto. Ah, that's sad. Hold on. Let me see. Do. Where's the little thing that tells you the messages? No, that's not it. If I kind of did this shit, this is not the. Where the fuck is it? I need to change this up a little bit. Where's the. Oh, I know what I got to do. That's why it's different. It should used to be at the bottom. What? It says Chica Child. Somewhere here. Let me see if I got the right deal up.
Chickasha, Shamon.
Chickasha, Shamon. I have no idea. I'm sorry, the producer. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. I'm gone. I don't know if that was the Michael Jackson. I don't know if it was what that was, but shout out to Bretto, man, wherever you at. Appreciate the love. That's funny shit. All right, I'm gone.